All right, guys. So this is Anything for the Podcast, where anything and everything goes. My name is Memo.
I'm Chris.
And we're here with some of one of my like greatest friends that I made in college. Like everyone that I met in college in our last years, I really cherish our friendship because we all went through the fucking mud together. Like we went through the goddamn trenches. And I think, our trauma bonding through that is what kept us all like pretty tight knit. So we have the hosts of a new podcast that just came out.
Dos Cabronas.
Dos Cabronas. We have Michy, Michelle, and Karen. So welcome, guys. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, we're so excited. It's like for reals now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you have a podcast and you end up on another podcast, it's just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, we fucking made it, man.
This is it. How have you been so far? How do you guys like in like confessing your biggest fears, problems, and insecurities to the world?
Dude, it's been a journey, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I think we kind of had planned what we wanted to discuss, but I feel like the way it blossomed into like the topics and just like how out there we were gonna be, we got to a certain point where it was just like, well, fuck it, like this is going out there.
Yeah, we're gonna
plenty of times that's happened. We're like, but we could edit it or we could like try to be famous. What do we want?
There's like those weird crucial little moments in like editing where you're just like, do I release this story? Am I going to make my friend or myself look like a total fucking weirdo?
We liable?
Yeah. Are we liable for the shit we say and do on the podcast?
Do our words have consequences?
Oh, fuck.
I think we really felt that when we did our episode, Get Embarrassing, and we literally went there. Like, we were just like, do I really talk about me picking up a piece of shit from a toilet? Like, do I really want to go there?
Yeah, I don't even feel like I was prepared for that story.
That was for us, our episode was, what was it, Bad Dogs? Yeah.
I was gonna say that or the ASMR.
Jesus, yeah, episode 2, literally like everyone just throws my shit out there. Like, well, our old host Willie, yeah.
Willie's like time he blacked out at your place.
Oh yeah, like
or Willie's DUI.
Yeah, we did talk a lot. God damn, dude. Yeah, we didn't put ourselves in the best light
a couple of times.
But yeah, it's literally like walking out into the public naked. That's what a podcast can be sometimes. You just gotta be really prepared for the weird looks and commentary after.
And then you just wait for a sponsor to come along, But hey guys, come on our products. I'm like, I don't know who you are, you seem kind of sketchy, but
we'll do it. Code, we'll fucking do it, dude.
Yeah. I think it was kind of easy for us though, because it was just like Michy and I in my living room. And then, like getting started, it was like a little nerve-wracking, I would say, at least on my end. But like, since we talk about this shit all the time, it just kind of like came naturally. It just like this time we had mics in front of us,
Right.
Yeah.
Do you two find yourselves, did you find yourselves before making this podcast telling people this stuff anyways? Like, are you guys really just like open to people, like open books when you're like storytellers, when you're like meeting people? Like somehow this story that you told on the podcast, you had told maybe like some random person at an airport maybe like 2 years ago, just because like, because that's how I felt like when I wanted to, because before we did the podcast, I wanted to do a vlog and it was just going to be me in front of a camera just talking about shit, and then that's when Willie was like, yo, like I know you said let's do a podcast like a long time ago, and I said nah, but let's give it a shot. I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, all right, cool. And then I realized like a lot of these stories that he and I would talk about like on the podcast, we would just tell at bars. Like we'd be at a bar like telling this story about like some chick trying to make Willie bark in bed, or like or him getting DUI, or throwing up on my sister's boyfriend's car, or like shit, like he would tell people shit about me, or and we never had issues telling people like personal shit. So then I was like, why don't we just put it out there in the world? It's entertaining, especially because of the panorama we're in. Everyone's like, oh, okay, like fucking, there's nothing else to do. A lot of people had absolutely nothing to do for like a year. except listen to podcasts or, pretend to work out with a podcast in the background.
I've been guilty of that.
Whose idea was it for Dos Cabronas? Was it a mutual thing? Like you both thought, hey, we should
was Michelle's
podcast.
It kind of came about we were working together at Big Brother, Michelle?
We were working at Big Brother and it was a summer day and it was fucking hot and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And dude, like hot, like I was sweating. Like, when you can see the back and you can see the mountains, your life journey, like
a shirt looks like it looks like camouflage splotches because of sweat and all that shit. Yeah.
Like, for the first hour, the second hour, the third hour. But I was just like, you know what? I think we should do a podcast. And I mean, at first honestly, we were both scared because we were like, what the hell is like, what do you do? About? How do you do a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
And, even like, how do you record a podcast? Like everything. And we're just like, should we do it? Should we not? And then we let that go for like a year, right, Karen?
Yeah. Right. We would randomly bring it up and then just be like, oh yeah, that was one of our ideas.
Yeah.
How do we do it?
Yeah. And then the pandemic happened and we were like, we gotta fucking do it. We're not doing anything. Like, let's fucking do it.
And especially because Michy and I were always together regardless. Like the pandemic, that was, I think, the longest we've ever been away from each other, other than right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was listening to your newest episode and then how you guys were saying like, we just go out on dates with each other just randomly. You guys are talking about your drunk nights at Santa Monica, like by the third street. I was just like, dude,
little drunk dates.
I feel it.
And that was one of many. Like, we always caught ourselves. We're like, we were just gonna get something to eat. Why is there dim lighting and fucking flowers in the center with champagne? The fuck?
That is so romantic.
I was like, I kind of feel like I'm cheating on my boyfriend. But...
Oh man. So the way I kind of like got into podcasting, because I also had that kind of like, what am I gonna talk about? Or can I hold a conversation enough to be like somewhat entertaining?
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the pandemic, we had our own bubble. We believed in the bubble system. So we all stayed at home. And then on the weekends, we all met up at one spot, but it was the same like 4 people. So we tried to keep it like safe like that. And we would get just fucking trashed every night for the weekends. And what I would do is I would get my phone and then I would put the recorder on and then I would just leave it on the table, but just no one would notice. I just did it so quietly and I would just record our conversations, but I would leave them. And then I told Willie about it. I was like, yo,
it's
Willie.
So creepy, dude.
I know, but I only would record maybe like 5 minutes. But I never posted these. I just wanted to hear like our chemistry, like see how it would work out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck it. Damn it, Chris. Damn it. Now I know it.
Are you realizing how creepy it is right now?
But I told people afterwards, and I told them, hey, look, I recorded us. You want to get, and everyone would be drunk as shit. Everyone would be drunk as shit or high. And I would be like, just listen to yourselves. And everyone's just like laughing at themselves. Like, what the fuck did I just say? But I never told them that was like, oh, it was for the podcast. I'm like, do you want to hear yourself? And then, but then
like, why does Momo like to listen to me when he's alone?
I only did it in front of, I made sure, I told everyone about the group experiment. Well, after I hit stop on the record, I was like, hey guys, guess what?
So we
I have these video recordings. I have these audio recordings and you said some weird shit, bro. But yeah, because I didn't know, like, how would I know if I'm like, if I can do it, unless I forget that the phone's there. If I forget that I'm recording, I kind of like getting lost in the conversation and then just we go on tangents. Like if you listen to any like our older episodes, it's just like tangent after tangent after tangent.
Still is.
It still is. Yeah, it's still is.
Us too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Great, dude. That was perfect.
Yeah.
We didn't have to force anything.
And we never
naturally.
We never answered any question that we brought up.
See you next week.
I think like what we went from we were talking about like the vaccine and then somehow we ended up on Power Rangers. Yeah, like we did. That's kind of, but that's what I like, that kind of just like natural,
Wow.
that good chemistry, Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I really, oh no, Chris, go.
I was gonna say, and then after that, I started another podcast after doing this one, where me and another group of friends, we just like review like craft beer. First Clues podcast.
Check out
Gotta check that out.
It's been pretty fun. I'm able to like get more creative on video editing. I never did it before, but now I'm like just YouTube tutorials of like a bunch of like editing and software effects. I'm like, hell yeah, this is great.
Dude, YouTube is like life.
Like, yeah.
We learned so much. There was nights we stayed up late, okay? We stayed up late, like trying to look up fucking YouTube videos of fucking GarageBand, but all these GarageBands from like 2000, and we're like, what the fuck? That's not how it looks like anymore. And we'd be stressing out. And Karen doesn't like to turn on the fucking AC, so I was fucking sweating.
Why?
Dude, all my roommates left in March. All my roommates left in March. So I'm over here paying bills for a fucking house to myself. So I'm like, guess what, Michy? It's gonna be a sauna and a fucking podcast room. Like, I'm not turning the AC on.
It was
God damn.
Yeah. And I would be dying. And then you can't have the windows open because of the birds.
Yeah. We had to figure out like what room would be best. And like finally, because like all the rooms were empty except for my room and then the living room, which I had furniture in. But like the living room was we were doing it in the bedroom for a little bit. And it's just like I have slide doors and it's a pretty like it's a decent sized room, but it just becomes a fucking sweat sauna. So we're both there. I'm like, Michy, it's okay. We're getting through it. Like,
we'll be okay. We'll fucking make it.
It's audio only.
I was loving the audio only format when we started, because it's like, oh, cool. I could just be like in a wife beater. We're all just kind of just like just lounging and shit. Yeah. But then like now it's like, oh, we have to be like somewhat presentable now.
It sucks, bro.
Oh man, now people can see the sweat coming. Oh, dude, when it's like midsummer, that shit's gonna fucking suck. That shit's gonna be so fucking hot.
Well, I don't know, because we did it last time during the summer.
Oh, we did. We were in Van Nuys, when we were doing it at Willie's apartment or house. Yeah. Oh shit.
Nice.
But
we made it.
Yeah, we made it. Yeah, fucking. You guys are episode 34, dude. Honestly,
that's
like
amazing.
we never thought we would make. Well, I never thought we'd make it past.
I don't know what his
5
plans were,
episodes.
but it's like start a podcast and like only have a goal of 5 episodes.
Well,
that's terrible.
I never had that as a goal. My goal is to make shit last forever. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna force something that's not gonna work. But I'm so happy it's been working. It's fun. It's like my therapy at the end of the week.
Yes, I totally think it's therapy.
Yeah.
And tweet it out. Like, why go to therapy if you can do a podcast?
Yeah, why? You know?
I'm like,
Why?
many reasons.
Yeah.
Well then.
It's very one-sided, you know. Very one-sided. I don't think you really learn anything at the end. Now. You're just kind of just throwing ideas out there and shit. Yeah, it is. But so what I like about your guys' format, for back to Dos Cabronas, because we have them here. What I like is that you guys pick a theme for every episode. So like what was that brainstorming like? Like I bet you have like a whole fucking like notebook of
how much thought goes into your episode.
Yeah.
I mean, Michy, like the process for us was, I think the main idea for us, it's like, what is uncomfortable to talk about, or what don't people put out there that we feel like we need to like state our opinions on it, right? And then like Michy, if you want to talk about like our process of that.
So we would like get together and we'd be like, okay, like Karen said, what is something that people don't talk about, you know, that it's so stigmatized that makes people fucking uncomfortable. And I was like, I want to make people uncomfortable because then they'll be comfortable talking about it after. And then we started thinking like, well, but also we wanted it to be personal so people can know that they're not alone and they can experience things. And that's what we hoped, that someone finds like a safe space of like, oh shit, me too. Like, you know, like we just wanted to have people feel like they're comfortable and they're at home in a safe space, but also be super funny because life is full of fucking jokes and, you know.
Yeah. And I think that's why originally when we were looking for names for our podcast.
Oh yeah.
Like, we came up with Tu También, right? Because we wanted it to be that, like other people being involved in this conversation.
Yeah, very inclusive.
Taken, I forgot by who. Or
by
what,
like a church group. And we're we can't use that one.
I don't think a church group would want to be connected to people that talk about picking out poop from a toilet.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we came up with like a list of a bunch of fucking names and we crossed it out. And then we were like, Cabronas, like everyone thinks that when you say the word cabrona, it's like a bad thing, you know?
Yeah.
And Karen and I were like, we're bad bitches, okay? And we're two bad bitches, and then we're like, dos cabronas.
And they made who made the intro music?
Oh, we did that together.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I was like, damn. I was like, what?
So
they have a theme song too? Fuck.
That's what we wanted. But it's so funny because like Michelle and I, like one of us would start it and be like, fuck, we're stuck. And then the other one would go to the computer and then we just like bounce ideas off of each other till it like became that. And it's funny because as soon as we finished it, like we played it and we're like, we're like, oh, this shit hits.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I know when I heard that, I was like, holy fuck. I was like, we need a theme song at some point. And it's like I'm a musician, but I can never think of like a good little like jingle to make or like anything like that. I'm just like, fuck. Like at this point, I think we're just gonna have to like hire someone to make it for us.
I play you like over. What are you talking about?
You play me a song.
I serenade you on the guitar.
You do. You know what? I should just record those and turn it into like a medley.
You're welcome, bro.
Thanks, Chris. You know what? I'm the most unappreciative friend in the world. Fuck.
Well,
damn, I think this might be my last podcast. Obviously, I'm not contributing.
I think you should definitely try to do it because I felt like that was a great process of just like not knowing where the fuck to start.
Yeah.
And then like going together and like, okay, this doesn't work, but this does.
Yeah.
And like that teamwork. And plus, Memo, you know how to fucking play every single like instrument out there. So, bruh.
No, yeah, it's true. It's just I have to get like I need to update my software. That's it. Like I have a keyboard, my keyboard, all that shit. I could do it. It's just I have all the free time in the world now. So fuck it. Yeah, I'm in between seasons of work, so I'm just like, okay, cool. Like
nice.
So now I gotta like figure that out, get some gigs, and then in between. Yeah, I'll work on myself. Maybe I'll just lounge around and just do nothing. That sounds nice too.
Yeah, Michelle's on a little break right now too.
Oh, yeah. For real? Mm-hmm. Oh man, what was the last production you guys were working on?
Together?
Or whatever.
In general.
In general. Wait, Karen, are you still in Atlanta?
Yeah. So I actually moved here in January.
So you moved out there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just working out there for like, you know, a show or a movie that was out there long term.
No, I mean, I came out here, I want to say end of September last year, and I was on a bubble show because, you know, for the pandemic, that was the only way productions could figure it out.
Yeah.
And that was a great experience because we lived in this resort in like North Georgia.
Right.
And all the crew had like RVs parked on the field. So everyone lived on a field. Like we had our own fucking trailer park, basically.
Nice.
And I was there for about almost 2 months. And then I kept getting, after that, I went back to LA, but I kept getting calls for work out here. So I just kind of like, I've always wanted to live somewhere else. And I really liked Atlanta. So I was like, fuck it. I'm tired of like trying to PA and like trying to prove myself in LA. Like, let me just do it out here, you know? And
there's a huge production like industry or producing whatever out in Georgia.
Oh yeah.
It's super busy. It's a really busy town. Like I think, what is it? A lot of Marvel movies are here on top of like.
Doesn't Tyler Perry have a?
Tyler Perry has a studio out. He has a whole fucking like setup and everything.
He owns Georgia.
He basically owns Georgia. He's like it's like
people love him out there, man.
Oh yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Can't get enough of the
Oh yeah.
Tyler, I love it.
Oh man, fucking No, yeah, it's so I know it's like Atlanta's got a lot of work, like Georgia has a lot of work. I think it's on
Georgia.
I think
Georgia.
Toronto also has a lot of film work out there.
Yeah, Toronto,
Like
Vancouver,
yeah.
Australia's about to get a bunch of shit to them because I think
Oh,
all of Marvel's moving there.
Really? Oh
No
shit, I
way.
didn't know that.
For tax incentives. Yeah, some shit like
Oh,
that.
dude,
Don't
time to
quote
Aussie
me.
out, bro.
I saved the article. I didn't read the whole thing.
Yeah, dude.
Not America.
But I wouldn't want. The only thing about Australia, I just can't. It's the
The bugs.
giant fucking spiders, dude. Like,
Oh no.
no, man.
No.
If there's a bug bigger than my hand over there, that
He lives there, man.
Dude, like the flies
Yeah.
are like this big. Just
fuck that, dude. Fuck that. I don't want a bottle of a vino flying at me. What the fuck? That'd be fucking lame. Just running around, just a giant ass fucking bug. Oh god.
No, I can't. That's gross.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't. Fucking
What
kangaroos.
kind of chancla do you need to kill those type of
Bro,
bugs?
you need Doc Martens. You need to walk around with a loose Doc Marten, just fucking. And none of that vegan Doc Marten. You need like a leather brown Doc dude, like bro.
Pootie Tang's belt, bro.
Pootie Tang's belt, dude. You need fucking yeah. You need to learn like some kind of martial art before you go to fucking Australia. Have you seen like when kangaroos fucking attack people?
Oh,
No.
kangaroos are ripped.
Dude, kangaroos are fucking jacked, bro.
6-pack and yoked, like boxing gloves,
Yeah.
ready to go.
No, dead ass. Like, and I thought, oh, they're exaggerating it in cartoons and shit when they like box. No, dead ass. They'll throw jabs at you, bro. Fuck you.
damn,
Fuck that,
some men need to take notes then.
There was a kangaroo in Tekken?
Be like a
There's
kangaroo.
a boxing kangaroo in a video game, wasn't there? I know, maybe what's that?
Ready to Rumble.
Ready to
Sorry.
Rumble.
We nerd
There
out on
you
stupid
go.
old video games from PlayStation 2.
Hell
Yeah, bro. There was
that
like
game was the shit.
there was an old it was
Fucking Afro dude on the
yeah, it was like a cartoon looking fucking boxing game and like yeah, one of the unlockable characters was a kangaroo with big ass boxing gloves. Wow. See, that's anything for the podcast. We always tie it into something, and we tie anything we talk about to everything.
Nerd pop culture.
Nerd pop culture. Yeah, that's what we try to be like. Yeah, we're a variety podcast.
You guys listen to Weezer?
yeah,
So do we.
so do we, dude. It was funny. But okay, so so now you're. Are you gonna stay out there in Georgia?
I don't know, honestly, because like work has been, and that's how work is. It's just like inconsistent. But as soon as I moved here, I started working on a show as a buyer for like 2 months.
Okay.
And then after that, I've just been getting like commercial jobs to like art direct or set dress. So I'm kind of like enjoying the different scenery here. So I'm just like, I'm kind of done with making like future plans. Like if the pandemic showed me anything, it's just like you cannot plan life out. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pick up and move. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to LA. I don't know if I'm gonna stay here. I'm just kind of taking it as it is,
Fuck, dude. And when I was laid off from they wrapped me, and I was like, okay. So this is what it's like. It's like because that was my first like production gig, but it was so long term. It was like a year and a half. No, almost 2 years. A year and 9 months at working at Ancient Aliens and the Unexplained, and I was like, okay, I know this isn't normal for like the production industry, and I was like, did I just like kind of like I set myself up to be more anxious out of work than anyone else that kind of works more like PA gigs or set gigs like that. And I'm just like, fuck, like what I do, like the first week of unemployment, I'm just like, I feel really useless. I feel real fucking useless.
That's all of America for the entire year of 2020.
Yeah, but they had unemployment, like really good unemployment, like during the beginning of the pandemic. Sure, it lagged. Like right now, like my unemployment shit's like all over the place. I got to figure that out, but I might not be getting as much as I was hoping for. I'm like, great, that doesn't pay rent. That doesn't pay fucking rent. So now I'm dipping into my savings and shit. But then I was like, you know what, Memo? That's the industry. This is how you fucking learn how to deal, you know?
Yeah, you gotta be good with money. I mean, Michy, I love the way she is with money because Michy is, as you know, like one of the most like positive people you'll ever meet. But it's the one thing, it's just like she does not worry about money. And somehow like it just comes to her. And I was like, dude, I need to get on that fucking mentality because like I remember like when we weren't working and she's like, it's okay, I won't worry. Like money's gonna come to me, blah, blah, blah. And then like finally with our old job, like they closed our 401k and she's like, oh shit, I got like $1,000 something right now. I'm like, what the fuck?
It just showed up.
I'm like, money, come to me.
God damn, Michelle. What the fuck? I want that too. What the hell?
I have
you gotta write a book about that,
Michelle. Bad. I should. I have this really bad habit where I get a job and then I always forget to tell them to do direct deposit. So I get the checks. And this is probably going to sound really bad. Like this is, but in the humblest ways, I literally don't deposit. I have like 10 checks I have not deposited. And yesterday my brother spilled some tea on them and I was like, fuck, I really need to deposit these checks. But I have that all the time. I just kind of like forget to deposit them. And then I finally do in the most humblest of ways.
I was like, you know who does that? Fucking rappers, fucking influencers and shit. Like they got like 10 checks that they have on the side. Like, oh yeah, I never took that to the bank, or my sister never took that shit. Wow, Michelle. Wow.
I mean, did you not know Michelle's like the dopest rapper alive?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Go, give me a beat.
Get it.
What was the group that we made for our thesis class? It was you and Paulina. No, it was you, Paulina, and Christina. Oh my god. What was the name of your group? Oh,
it was like Pan
Dulce?
Pan Dulce.
Yeah. So for our senior thesis, we the story was about this like washed up rock star trying to reconnect with his family that he left behind for the fucking rock star lifestyle, blah blah blah. And for his manager, we set up the office and we put pictures of albums that we made up. So it was the Rippers. So it was him and it was the band of the guy. And then next to him was Pan Dulce, and we all did a photo shoot. And Karen was our photographer too. Oh yeah, that's right. And so it was me, Victor, and then our other friend Aiden, and we all dressed up like a hair metal band. So and we were all and we had a fucking blow up doll and everything. Dude,
you need to see the pictures. You need to
I'll probably post them in the edit. I'll post them in the edit. And then you guys were Pan Dulce, and then Tahir and EJ were
here to there, or from
here to there, because Tahir's, oh my god. What was his? I remember I looked at his LinkedIn profile. It was our friend Tahir, and it was like, I will bring you, like, oh my god, it was like I make sure my projects are completed from there to here. For some shit like that. He put his name in his fucking like closing statement of his resume, his cover letter, from there to here, and his name was Tahir. I was like, God damn it, dude. Dude, I was like, I wish I could do something like that on my resume and shit. But yeah, and then we put up all those album arts, and I think we made one pretend like gold album, right? Yeah, we made one pretend gold vinyl.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I low key miss school. Like that shit was fun. Like we were allowed to be like creative and not worry about shit.
Yeah, because we'd be like, we're still in school, so we don't have to worry about being adults.
Yeah.
We're still in school.
Yeah, dead ass. I had that conversation yesterday with Victor, and I was just like, bro, like, fuck, dude, like I miss school, but I don't miss stressing about it. He's like, would you rather stress about school or would you rather stress about not paying rent? I was like, you're right. You're fucking right.
Bro, I was doing both, man.
Oh, that's right. Oh, because you were living, you were on the dorms, right?
Yeah, dorms and then apartments my second year.
Oh, that's right. You moved out the second year. I forgot about that.
That shit was
fucking A.
Why did you move out of the dorms?
It was cheaper than it was cheaper to rent an apartment than it was to dorm for like 9 months. You know, it was like 13,000 for 9 months, or you could like spend like 600 and split a room with a student for a full year. And I was like, that sounds way better.
Damn, if they're like, they're taking our money already, you know, like why are the dorms so fucking expensive?
Yeah, like when my youngest sister was going to Cal State Fullerton for that 1 year, she dormed it there. Holy shit. Yeah, it was like 12 grand to dorm it. I'm like, Fullerton is like just maybe like 10 minutes from Anaheim. I'm like, if you just take a train or take the bus there in the morning, like it's way cheaper than fucking paying rent and like living there. So her second year, she started doing that. But I was like, God damn, dude, they're just trying to squeeze it out. And then tuition is like fucking like 7 grand a year, which is significantly cheaper than a lot of other things like fucking like USC or UCLA. But fuck, dude. But still, like, that's money you don't have. You're a student. You're fresh out of high school, dude. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
You went from like having to ask if you can use the restroom to like taking out like $50,000 for the next 4 years, and like that transition, you're like, what the fuck, guys?
Hell yeah.
Honestly, there's like really they don't teach us how it is. They just tell us it's gonna be hard in college. If you don't do this now, you're not gonna know what you're gonna do in college. You're gonna fail in college, but they never really tell us how fucking hard college is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
On top of, I feel like with all the fucking bullshit prerequisites they make us take, right? Like it has nothing to do with our major, right?
Yeah.
And this is why I went to community college. I was like, let me get my prerequisites out of the way. So once I transfer, I don't have to do that. Then they're like, hey, upper prerequisites. I'm like, fuck you guys.
I was like, how many fucking prerequisites do I fucking need?
But also, like, how about just showing us like important prerequisites? Like money management. Make us take like a money management class. So we know how to, like, budget or like what our expenses are going to be for that semester, you know, or like just simple adult shit.
Yeah.
And I know that they offered a lot of like workshops for that, like for school, like for college and all that. But to be honest, everyone's fucking working while they're in school. Not a lot of people have like the privilege or, you know, like the to be able to just go to school and just worry about school. If you have that, you know, if you can do that, you probably come from some kind of money, or you got a really fucking good scholarship. Like you worked your ass off for like a really good scholarship. But there's like, it's just so tough, because I remember my first year at CSUN, I went straight to CSUN from high school. And that was my biggest mistake, because I didn't know what I wanted to do really. I thought, and this is something I actually wanted to bring up with you two. So when I went to school, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I was good at math, and I was somewhat interested in sciences in high school. I always did really well in those classes, thanks to Mr. Margway, dude. Mr. Margway.
Hell yeah.
He keeps coming up in our fucking podcast.
He was our father figure for 7th grade. No,
ninth grade.
9th grade.
9th grade. He was not a father figure. Like, he was really cool.
Just me.
Yeah. No, he was cool. Actually, I dug him. But I went in and I was going to be a bio major, dude. Like I was going to go I thought I was going to be a doctor or some kind of engineer or some shit. And then I was doing fucking YouTube videos with my friends from high school. And I was like, oh, this is something you can make a career out of. And when one of our videos hit 1 million views, we're like, fuck. I was like,
doing something right.
Like what the fuck am I doing here then? Like, what am I doing? You know, but then I was like, but I need to stay in school, because like YouTube or like creative shit isn't going to be like a forever thing. I didn't know like the logistics of it. All I knew was it was a dream.
You were picking an uphill battle.
I was. Yeah. And then for 2 years, I was just like kind of lost. I almost dropped out of college. And then, you know, I had that talk with my parents, and I was like, because they saw I was fucking up. And then they were like, yo, why aren't you in school this semester? I got kicked out for a semester because, it's not kicked out, but like my financial aid didn't go through because I couldn't crash a class in time. So I was like, fuck, all right.
And I think that's all types of fucked up. That's a whole nother thing, you know?
Oh, the financial aid and crashing classes, compacted as classes, dude. Like, fuck. 50 people for a fucking geology class. Like that doesn't make any sense, dude.
No.
But I finally had that talk, and I wanted to ask you guys about your it's about family, like the family support. So when I talked to my mom and she was like, "What are you doing with your life, dude? Like, I know you're better than this. Like, I know you could dedicate yourself to studying something, but what's going on?" And I was like, "Look, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't like fucking biology. It's bullshit." Like, especially at CSUN, like the program's totally fucked. I failed every test in a class, and I got a C. And I got a C.
Good job, dude.
Yeah, I was like, cool, but then I was like,
I'm proud of you, dude.
GPA didn't
Like
take that big of a...
C's get degrees.
Yeah, but the GPA didn't get dunked that hard. But then I was like, how? I literally failed every fucking test. I read a textbook this fucking thick twice just so I could maybe pass the class. And then I was like, what the fuck? And then I found out through someone in the grade ahead of me. I was like, they're like, yo, dude, they do that in the bio program so that they don't lose research funding. If they have a high fail rate, they lose research funding, like the professor that's there.
Oh.
So I was like, bro, she was like, what teacher you had? And I told them the name. They're like, yeah, dude, no one passes that fucking. She could give two less shits about an entry level bio class. I was like, yeah, I don't want to be here anymore. So then I found out, that's when I found out CSUN had a film and television program. I was like, oh, fuck. And then I switched over, and, my mom was like, dude, just do it. As long as you get a degree and a job, like, I don't give a fuck. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just don't half-ass it. Don't just say you want to do this and then change again. So what I wanted to ask you guys was like, so when you guys realized you wanted to be in the industry, like production industry, like, how was that conversation with your family? Was your family already involved in the industry? I just want to see, like, were they like, no, you got to be a doctor, nurse, teacher, XYZ? Because I know that happens a lot in Latino families.
Oh yeah, big time.
That's like the big stigma. Chasing your dreams in a Latino family, especially if you're part of the if you're an immigrant yourself, or you're a first generation, even second generation can get kind of in that mix, but like,
yeah,
the expectations of like, yo, I came here, so you better fucking make it worthwhile.
You better be a lawyer, be a doctor. Yeah.
So how was that for you guys, if you don't mind sharing that?
I mean, do you want to go ahead, Michelle?
Yeah, I could go. So when I first went to college, I wanted to be a lawyer. And then after like taking the prerequisites, I was just like, oh no, this is not, I don't want to be a lawyer. And then I started seeing, like, I just started realizing that ever since I was young, I was always interested in like TV and movies. Like that was just like, I had a passion for it and I always loved it. And then they kept pushing like, hey, you got to pick your major. Hey, you got to pick your major. And I was just like, I don't know what to do with my life. Like I was stressing out. And they showed me that, like, I saw too, my mom was like, oh, they have a television and film program. At first I was like, oh, I want to do the film side. Like I want to go into film, because I feel like that's what everyone kind of chooses at first. Like I want to be in film,
That was me.
I started hearing people like, yeah, everyone who's in film are fucking assholes and they're mean and the professors are mean and me, I don't like to be around mean people. So I was just like, nah, what's another option? And then TV came up and I was like, oh, TV, like, and then I was like, okay, what do I want to do in TV? I want to be a producer. And then so I tell my family has always been like super supportive, luckily, of like what I want to do. Then again, like as right now, I'm still office PA, and they in Mexico, everyone thinks I fucking directed like 10 movies.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
yeah.
they're like, Michelle, the director. And I'm just like, no, not even close. But yeah, so television is and I'm super happy about being in television. But now, in being honest with you, now that I am in the field and I'm getting seeing the real side of everything, I don't even know exactly what I want to do in this field. I know I want to do something, but I don't know. Still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, and it's all a process.
So what it sounds like, the conversation that I was fearing with my parents that took me like 4 years to finally like have with them, you didn't even have to really like have that.
No, but I did get kicked out of CSUN because I didn't pass math because I suck at math.
Only one class? And they kicked you out?
I didn't pass my math class, and they were like, you know what, you have to pass that math class and you're gonna have to go somewhere else. They're just like, you just can't be here next season. Next semester.
Oh my god. Imagine if our fucking our lives at CSUN was like a fucking television
reality
show. A reality show on Peacock or some shit.
My fucking professor, she's such a bitch.
But yeah, so I basically got kicked out. Like they said, it was like kind of like I was suspended until
academic probation or some shit.
Yeah. And I went to Pierce, and I stayed at Pierce for a whole year because then financial aid was like, something happened with my financial aid, and they're like, yeah, we're still not gonna give you the money. I literally for a year while I was going to Pierce, because it's way more affordable, right? I went to Pierce. I literally sold a car. I did yard sales every day, and I would be the person and pick up like cans and bottles,
right?
And I would collect them, and I would save up. So when it was time for me to finish at Pierce, I had money to pay for CSUN, and I was able to save up for a semester, and luckily financial aid, some miracle happened and it came in, and I was able to finish school.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I was gonna say, for your parents, it sounds like they wanted to push doctor and like lawyer or something, because that's the only way they knew, or the only people they knew who made money and were successful. I don't think they really understood other ways that you can make, a good money or a good profession. That was just a great profession, but they didn't realize it was just how much money you can make being whatever in the industry besides an actor or something.
Yeah,
got it's for that.
Thanks, Chris. I
got you.
I acted for like 2 years and that didn't mean shit.
That's what
I think our parents think about like stability and longevity of that profession. Like it has to be a professional field, right? Because like my dad was a math professor in Guatemala. So like in his, so for him, like it was very important to, school was really important because for him, it helped him out. But, once he moved here, he couldn't necessarily go back to school because he already started a family with my mom. So from being someone who like had a profession to like coming here and being like a waiter and a bartender, I feel like it was really pushed. Like school was extremely pushed upon like me and my brother. Right. It was like, you have to, like, my dad wanted me to be an engineer so bad. And I was like, Dad, like, I can't. I'm like, I'm trying to shop and like, what's 20% off of this? I'm like, I can't. But like, I feel like that's why it's so important to our parents, because for them, it's all about, financial stability and to be successful. But they don't see that there are outlets and opportunities for us to like pursue what we want to do with our lives. And also like make money, because and the thing is, it's like, if you're doing something specifically for money, how happy are you going to be?
True.
So what you love to do has to be what drives you, and then everything else will fall into place.
Exactly.
But I feel like it is definitely a hard conversation to have in the Latino community.
I think the one person I had a negative I was at work and when I used to work at Westfield, and a teacher from high school, I saw her and I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And she was like, she's like, "What are you going to school for?" And I was like, "I'm going to school for television production." And she gave me this look like, "Oh, you're going to be in television?" And I was like, well, not in front of the camera, behind the camera. And she was like, "Oh, well, why did you choose?" Like straight up was like, "Why did you choose that? You're not going to make any money in life
Wow, what the fuck?
And I was just like, the fuck? Is she really just talking to me like this? Like, if I talk back, will I get suspended? Like, I was just like, is she really telling me this? And I was just like, well, that's your opinion. I don't think it's accurate, but thanks for the support. And then I just walked away. I was in shock. I can't believe it. Teacher literally told me, she's like, why did you choose that? You're not going to make any money.
Yeah. That fucking, wow. And they're a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, you think someone who's supposed to inspire.
Was she old?
Yeah, was she old?
No, I think she was like in her, no, she was like in her early 40s.
She's old enough to know better.
40s isn't.
Yeah, she's old enough to know better.
Yeah, 40s isn't like old at all. Like,
no,
no, because I'm thinking old as in like 60s. Like 70s, because like, I would get that because they've lived long enough to see people get their dreams crushed and shit. But
no, not only that, but like when they were your age, film and television just wasn't a thing. You know, like it really wasn't. You don't go to school for that. I don't know how the fuck people got into film production back in the day.
Nepotism.
Talking out my ass.
No, you know what? You bring up a good point.
Now.
Yeah, so a lot of people just Forrest Gump their way into production. Like literally, they just kind of like blindly run and they end up in production.
I have a friend who just started production, fucking lives in Rancho, went to school for business. That's how I know her. And all of a sudden she's on The Masked Singer. I'm like, your friend? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No shame or anything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then, so with you, Chris, how was that conversation? Well, because you went to school for
business, because
I
didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I was just like, you could get a job anywhere in business, and no one in my family went to college, so they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Let us know how it goes. Yeah. Maybe we'll go after.
Hey, take some notes and then give it to your little cousin so they could I don't think it's going to be the same questions, but sure. I think they change it every year. But
let us know if the water's warm.
Yeah. All right. And so I hopped around still not knowing what I wanted to do so I stayed in business, but wasn't sure if I wanted to do marketing, finance, what else is in there? Accounting or, operations management or human resources. Mm-hmm. So I was hopping around a lot, just taking like the classes that fell under business that was required, but like the entry-level marketing, entry-level accounting, just so I can figure out where I could fit. Mm-hmm. At the same time, my first year, I started the radio club at Cal Poly. So I was like, ooh, I really like music. I'm studying business. Let me try to combine those two and maybe start like a record label or something. So we were producing shows and some fundraisers, events. I did some podcast, not necessarily podcasts, but like radio shows, some with music, some with just like chatting, bullshitting around, like comedy. And then I was talking to my advisor because it was time to like get serious about what exactly would have been my major. Yeah. And so I was talking to my advisor and I was telling her, I was thinking about, doing a record label, or my two brothers are cooks and they kind of are thinking of starting their own restaurant or maybe start off with a food truck. She's like, well, you should look into human resources because under that, there's an emphasis on entrepreneurship, which it sounds like is what you want to do. I'm like, all right, I'll check that out. So I took the first intro to entrepreneurship and I fell in love with it. Mainly, to be honest, it's all a matter of a good professor. Yeah. I hated the marketing professor for the intro to marketing. So I was like, oh, I don't like marketing. But truth is, I just didn't relate to this bitch. I made her laugh, so I got by, Like one of the questions was, what's the Ford old cop car, that Oldsmobile that everyone drives and you think is a cop?
Not the Interceptor, Crown Vic.
Right? So she's like, why does that car cost so much on insurance? And I raised my hand. I was like, oh, is it because everyone thinks it's a cop, so they slam their brakes, and when they slam their brakes, people hit them. She's like, no, but I like that answer. And so ever since then, she liked me. Terrible student, right? I was smoked way too much and just show up high. She smelled it. It's not important. But you show
smells
up,
like Teen Spirit.
exactly. That's exactly what it was, you know. And then you show up once during office hours, and they would love you for that, right? Just hey, thanks so much for showing up. Like, and then never show up again, but they'll remember your face, right? Yeah. And so I did that, and I got by all of college with C's. Did entrepreneurship. Fell under HR. My first job out of that was like a tech startup. Well, actually, no, I started a business, a juice bar, an organic juice bar, and then with some friends, and we started doing events, farmers markets, and then we ended up having a shop out in West Hollywood, like the WeHo district, where all like the gyms and bars were at. We were right on Santa Monica Boulevard, and we had a juice bar there. We sold that like right when I graduated. And then from there did the tech startup and stuff. But to answer your question, Memo, my parents and family was just like, hey, we're just happy you're there, you know?
We're just glad you have an idea.
Hey, just wear a condom, don't get into like heavy drugs, experiment, but don't get into heavy drugs. Don't become addicted. And we'll see you on the other side. And I was like, all right, cool.
Here we are.
Yeah, so I got buy-in. Now I'm doing HR for a major cannabis company. I don't want to say the name, but I'm very HR, and I'm like, I don't want any ties to this podcast.
We never brought it up in previous ones, right?
Yeah,
no. We just
so I do corporate recruiting for a major cannabis company.
Nice.
And
it's really cool.
Yeah,
I just really blended in your weed smoking in college and
it's a perfect.
There you go.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I play the music in the office, so there's my little radio club where I like relive the glory days. But
literally, the interview was like, "Hey, so why do you think you should work here?" I used to smoke weed in college. You're in. I fucking like that answer.
It's nothing like that at all.
I know.
Everyone pictures because I'm a recruiter. So everyone like pictures me like just high all the time. Just like, oh shit, I forgot, I have this interview. But really it's me like completely sober with a cup of coffee. Like, oh shit, I forgot this interview.
Yeah, I know. Everyone has that like preconception that anyone that works in cannabis is like high all the time. Like, no. The first rule is you don't get high on your own supply.
Exactly. During interviews, people would tell me, "Shit, I'm high right now. I'm using your guys' products right now." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Didn't get the job. Like, can you not smoke for 5 minutes, please?" Like,
can't trust you around the stuff if you hire them.
Yeah, for real. Fucking hoarding it and shit. They probably think he's got like 5 fucking cartridges in his fucking pocket and shit.
I think I do.
You think you do? God damn it, he didn't get. He made it past security. God damn. His old concert days.
But no, that was pretty much been my experience with college. It's more of just like, fuck it, you're the smartest one in the family.
Go for it.
Out of everyone, they're like, you're the, like, you got straight A's the last 2 years so I didn't take high school seriously until my last 2 years. I was getting like B's, C's, maybe an A in like PE or whatever.
Yeah.
PE. But hey, it boosted up. And then my last 2 years of high school, I got straight A's because I tried. And then college was C's. I didn't tell anybody, but I was coasting.
Yeah.
And, they were just like, I mean, you've made it this far. I think you know what you're doing. And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you just surround yourself with your peers and you start.
Sorry. I'm like, that's part of life. It's just
it's
we all don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like no one knows what the hell they're doing. So for us to like expect to know what we're gonna do and put all our money in college, it's like, no, still trying to figure it out.
It's crazy because I had that thought the other day. Someone sent me a meme and it was have you guys seen the movie American Beauty with Kevin Spacey?
Parts of it.
Okay, so basically the premise of the movie is like this guy is working at this company. He's kind of been a pushover his whole life. Like he basically lives for everyone else. He never really lived for himself because he had a family and all that. And he's literally like a week before he can retire and get like all the benefits and shit. Yeah. And they fire him. So his life kind of like spirals a bit and he's just like, what the fuck? Like, what did I do? And then throughout the movie, he kind of just like learns about himself and he's like, oh yeah, I remember I used to like this kind of music. Oh, I remember I used to do this and that and the other. And then he started smoking pot and he's like, oh fuck, he started becoming a human. But then I realized, oh shit, like, I don't know why it made me think like, oh fuck, like our parents who we see as people that kind of have like an idea of what they're doing, they know what they're doing. Dude, they were just as confused as we were, like kind of going through life. They're struggling just as much at this moment as they were 20 years ago, or like when they had us like many years ago. And you're just like, fuck man, like we're all just kind of like, when we're out there, we look like we know what we're doing because we kind of like have to, but deep inside, we're all just kind of like, figuring it out. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, it's just, it's that weird realization when you grow up that like your parents or your people who you looked up to, like your role models, they really were just like you at one point. They may have felt like the same things you were feeling, the same insecurities, the same anxieties. And it's just like, holy fuck, dude. Like that, I live off of that shit. Like I love hearing, like making those realizations. You're just like, fuck, dude. Like, is that coming of age shit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of those.
Yeah, you get kind of lost in that, and then you start having your own existential crises. You're just like constantly. Especially during a panorama.
Yeah.
It's bad. Shit's bad. Oh man. But you know what? So you guys, this was your last episode of the season, right? Your most recent one.
Yes.
So how are you guys gonna do season 2?
Well,
if you don't mind revealing that, because I realize trade secret. We haven't discussed it yet.
I don't know. Michy was talking about possibly coming out here just to see me. So maybe we can do like a few episodes or something. But we've been kind of like writing down notes for what we want to have for season 2. So we have like a few topics picked out.
Okay.
Yeah. But we're just trying to figure out like, okay, you're all the way over there. I'm all the way over here.
Yeah.
How are we gonna do this? I feel like it's kind of different when you're far, like you're away from each other, like being next to each other, like that vibe, that you're there. But we're gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, and it'll work out. It's just being all the way across the country now.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah. I mean, like Zoom, like with us, and like when we started doing the Zoom cast, it was like, it felt a little off because we had people coming over, but then in our circle of people were getting sick. Like people were catching COVID like left and right. And we're just like, we better like not take our chances anymore, because we got fucking lucky throughout like the whole pandemic. Like neither of us got sick, and we're just like, holy fuck. But then like, we didn't also want to make other people feel like uncomfortable to come in. Like a lot of them were down to come over and like do like an in-person podcast, but we also didn't want to be those guys that took that chance and like, fuck, if we had the means to do it like through Zoom, might as well just, be as safe as possible. And it still worked. Like we found a way to make it work. It's just that weird, like one person's talking, the other person's talking, and then it's just like, the lag in time. It doesn't allow like proper feedback. You can't riff off people as well through like a call, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I live at home, so
we can't do it there.
Like 10,000 people here, and everyone's like, I have a loud ass family because I'm loud, and everyone's like yelling, screaming, laughing, jumping, and like, okay, how, like if we do this over Zoom, like I'm either gonna have to find like a space to do this, because right now nobody's home. So we're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, like, wait a minute.
We've been hearing, like,
they're fine. Usually your family's loud as hell.
Yeah, no one is home, so we're good.
Yeah. But maybe like, I don't know, because I definitely like miss Cali already. Like I really, really miss, because I've never lived anywhere else. I'm like born and raised in LA.
Yeah.
So I definitely like, if anything, and we just need some peace and quiet, Michelle, I'll get us an Airbnb somewhere and we'll just like squash it out in a week, you know, just knock these episodes out. Because we did these episodes, like, I want to say it took us maybe 3 months, Michy, of just like scheduling and organizing. But like the last 4 episodes we did right before I planned my move.
Okay.
So that all happened like,
because everything happened so fast and we were like, dude, we need to finish this. And so we literally finished like 4 episodes in 1 week.
Yeah.
Plus Karen was packing up everything to move.
Oh, okay.
And she was working.
My house was a mess. Yeah.
And so we were tired.
Yeah. I had a stupid moment when I first listened to the podcast. I was like 3 episodes in, I'm like, wait, doesn't Karen not live here anymore? Like, like how the fuck? Like, is she flying in on a fucking weekend? I was like, Memo, people can record shit earlier, later. Come on, dude. You're in the industry. You know how this works.
Magic.
I literally had like a stupid, like I was like, God damn it, Memo. And then I was like, or like maybe they're zooming it. And I was like, no, the quality is like too good. It's like literally they're right there next to each other. Yeah, I had a stupid moment for sure. But and I think this was a good cast, you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to have you both on again soon.
Yeah.
We'll all go to Georgia.
Don't even worry about it. Yeah, let us know. I got nothing going on.
Anyone listening or watching, if you guys want to go, just message us.
Come on, let's go. Karen, tell everyone your address.
Yeah.
Basic. I haven't even memorized it yet. I don't know where I live.
Like, shit, what is my address? Hold on.
I don't even know where I am.
I wrote it down somewhere. Where's the cat? I think he ate it.
No. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to season 2. I'm really looking forward to season 2. The spooky stories episode, that one, it's scary, or was it? It's spooky, right? It's
spooky,
scary.
I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that was a good one. And then Ponte Pilas, right?
Ponte las pilas.
Ponte las pilas. Those, because that was the one where you guys were talking about like shit, like the little sayings people would tell each other, like to know move on. Oh, you found one. You found one pen. You found one pen. Yeah. And I was just like, fuck, you're like, it's so relatable. That's what I loved about your guys' podcast. It's just so relatable. Because when I'm listening to it, I got so mad. I was like, fuck, I wish this was like Instagram Live. I could like chime in real quick. Like, my mom used to say this shit. My mom used to say that. Like, I was scared. Okay. Before we wrap up, I just want to make the comment. So Karen, I remember in the spooky stories, you were telling us that your mom would tell you something about a cat.
Oh yeah, el gato.
So, and then you were like, it's fucking weird. I know my mom would a cat, but it's funny because I have a similar one. For me, it was a chongo. It was a chongo. Te va a llevar el chongo del closet. Quítate de ahí. And I was like, what the fuck? Or like, I always imagine this big fucking like gorilla's just gonna come out and just fucking like snatch me up and shit, like King Kong or some shit. And I was like, no, Karen, it's not weird. I have that shit too, but it was a chongo. Because I never grew up with like La Llorona or La Chupacabra. Like I remember hearing about that later. Like the white kids would tell me, hey Memo, what's up with the Chupacabra, dude? I'm like, I don't fucking know. What the fuck? I was like, all I know is a cucuy and a chongo. Like that was all I was scared of growing up.
I love that.
Your mom? What do you mean, your mommy? So I was like, fuck. I knew there was one thing I wanted to bring. It was like, El Chongo used to scare me. El Chongo was my childhood fear. El Chongo y el cucuy.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put a chongo in my back pocket, so if I ever have kids, it's gonna be chongo. Like,
Chongo y el gato.
Yeah.
They fucking teamed up, dude. you have like two you have like their siblings and shit. Like one gets scared of the chongo, one gets in. Like when they both fuck up, dude, tag team.
No, just make it a transformer. A chongato.
Chongato. Oh fuck.
Fucking fusion,
dude. Oh, that sounds like a really fucked up Dragon Ball Z villain, dude. Chongato. Fucking Goku has to beat Chongato. All right. Well, everyone, this was Anything for the Podcast, where anything and everything goes. My name is Memo.
I am Chris.
Michelle, Karen, do you have any like words? Dos cabronas. Do you have any words of wisdom for our fans and friends out there, or anything? Any like
you want to leave off with?
Or a plug? You guys want to plug anything? Like,
I mean, we're having our giveaway today. We're gonna have our first official live Instagram.
Fuck. Yeah.
So we're gonna just, if you want to throw your questions out there, you can, or have any type of input. It's our first one ever.
Shit, this will be posted on Thursday, so people will miss it. But they have. I'll post something on the page today so that people like, hey, go check this out. I'll share it on the podcast page. But yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
I would like to say, Echale Ganas.
Mm-hmm.
Echale
Ganas, and just fucking do it.
Yeah, no one.
All the people who want to do podcasts, just do it.
Yeah,
just do it. It's fun.
Nike. Hell yeah, dude. Shia LaBeouf. Do it. Fucking do it. Oh man, but all right, you guys. So
thanks for having us.
Yeah,
dude,
thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to season 2. Everyone, check out Dos Cabronas. The links will be up on the page and blah blah blah, and then yeah. It's just I already said it once. Like, comment, subscribe, watch a YouTube video. Are you guys gonna do video anytime soon? Nah, because you guys are so far apart and shit, right?
I don't know. I guess we have to figure things out first.
Yeah.
Let us figure out our audio, and
then yeah, for sure.
And then we'll have a full-on production. We'll have musicals there for you guys too.
You guys are on Spotify and iTunes, Apple. Okay, iTunes. Okay, iTunes, all that. All right, cool.
All the good stuff. We're on all the good stuff.
All the major platforms. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, take care.
All right.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.